Welcome back, everyone. You've probably seen the commercial ads featuring the most interesting man in the world, but our next guest may just be his female counterpart. Here's a small, very small snapshot of her amazing life story. Here she is as a Fulbright scholar in Europe. Here she is in Rwanda, where she traveled as a human rights attorney looking into violations. And in this one, she's visiting a Maasai tribe in Tanzania talking to artists and jewelry makers. The former human rights attorney and scholar has been designing jewelry for decades. We could go on, or we could just let you meet her and show you a little bit of the jewelry that obviously we're wearing today. So please welcome the founder and chief designer of Arya Esha, a celebrity favorite, award-winning brand of jewelry, Priyanka Murthy. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the
Super
chat.
exciting.
Thanks.
All right, so you've accomplished a lot for someone, because she told me earlier she's a millennial, so no more of that millennials are lazy, okay?
The older millennial.
Not true. So I mean, what do you attribute so much of the success that you've had to?
Well, I'm an immigrant. My parents, I was born in India, and then we moved here, and my parents, are entrepreneurs, so they are very driven, and I watch them be driven. So there's definitely the nurture part of it. And then I think there's a little bit of a nature part of it. I always tell people I'm very impatient. And I have to slow down, but sometimes impatience is what, the internal impatience is what kind of propels you forward.
I hear meditation works for that really well. So.
I've tried doing the meditation.
Didn't work.
We can do a meditation line.
I think I did it wrong because I always
did it wrong?
I focus on seeing. I close my eyes in the morning, 5 minutes, and I sit there and I picture my 9.5-month-old son's face. But I didn't. Yeah, I know. Right? Yeah. But I didn't know I was supposed to focus on my breathing.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
Try it again. Try it again.
Maybe I need to focus on my breathing.
Yes.
Let's focus on your jewelry
Okay.
designing
Yeah, let's
business,
do
because
that.
that's
I'm
the
always
most
into
important here. I mean, you've brought us beautiful designs today that we've been allowed to wear.
Y'all
We
look
are so
fabulous.
excited about it. But tell
they're
us,
amazing.
so why did you end up starting your jewelry design business?
Well, I have been, like I said, my parents are entrepreneurs. They have their own wholesale jewelry business. So I have been helping them in designing jewelry for years. I practice law. I love the law. I'm kind of a law geek, but it didn't really satiate the creative side that I have. So I launched this line about 2.5 years ago. I had been designing, informally for decades. And then I launched this line. It started doing well, and then,
So when you said you were designing jewelry, take us through the process, because I'm thinking you get a pen and a piece of paper and you draw an earring or how you want it to look. Okay, if that's the case, if that's what you do, what happens after that?
Okay, so every time I do a collection, it is a pen and paper thing,
Okay.
so you're right. But I start with what I would say is like an anchor piece. So like the piece that I'm wearing is one of my first designs, and it's still one of the most popular
wow.
designs I have.
Gorgeous.
It was in February issue of Vogue.
This little magazine we
kind
may
of
have
a big
heard about.
deal,
But I that's my anchor piece. And then when I designed that, and then I start thinking about what are the different things that could go with it. So not every woman likes long jewelry. Some people like dainty. So I stay true to my aesthetic, but then I try to design for different women. I'm a small little person, but I have this thing for big jewelry. I like big color jewelry. But a lot of women don't, but they still want the look. So we'll see later on, I have something similar, which is a smaller look, but it still has that same aesthetic. So you start off kind of doing what you want to do, and then you start kind of, it's almost like law in a way, where you kind of whittle it down, like it's like writing a brief in a way. You start with a bunch of stuff, and then you whittle it down to what makes sense.
That is so cool.
Interesting. Okay, so now I'm going to get in your business for a little bit.
Go for it.
So your boo
Yes, my boo.
Your boo is a cardiologist over at St. Vincent's
Oh, I thought you were
Healthcare.
meaning the little one. Okay, yeah, yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah,
the
big
big
boo. Oh, yeah,
boo.
the big one. The original boo. The original. The OG. Yeah.
So your boo, your bae,
Yeah.
he's actually a cardiologist here in town at St. Vincent's.
He is.
How did the two of you meet?
Okay. So
What had happened was,
It's gonna be great.
I was in my second year of law school at Northwestern in Chicago. He was in his second year of residency in internal medicine. And a friend of mine, and don't judge me, I went to debate camp when I was younger.
Oh.
From debate
there's a whole camp for debating?
Yes, there is. Like band camp from American Pie.
Like this
You
one
know,
time?
Like one time at
Band
band camp.
camp?
Yes. Yeah. One time in debate camp. So one of my friends from debate camp, I ran into her in Chicago, and she invited me to a club at a party thrown by her senior. So I'm not a club person, but I went, and it was 2008, which was a big election year in Chicago. So I went there, and then she introduced me to all her friends. There was this one guy who was kind of hanging back in the background, acting like he didn't see me. But halfway through my time there, we started debating. It was like one of those ooch clubs.
Oh my God.
And there was go-go dancers in the background, and halfway through the time, we started debating politics with go-go dancers in the
Oh my
background.
Who won?
gosh.
Huh? Who won?
Right.
It was a draw.
Oh.
I like to think I won. I like to think I
You won, I'm sure.
But objectively, it may have been a draw.
Oh my gosh, what a way to meet someone over a debate. Wow.
Right.
It sounds like so normal for you. Like, of course, everyone who knows you, like, that's so Pri. Like, of course that
You're
would happen.
right, yeah.
Is that how it happened?
So does that mean when the
seems
two
like
of
we've met
you
already.
were going to get married, did you design your own wedding rings?
I
Did you
I
really?
I
How
did.
awesome
Yeah.
is that?
And actually, that's like the informal kind of designing. And then I did some for friends, and that's when I started realizing, well, I like doing this. And then I made a couple of pieces, and it just kind of, sometimes things find you rather than you find it.
When it's meant to be, it finds you.
Yeah.
What about the name?
Yeah, exactly.
The name. Did you find the name, or did it find you?
That one I found, or I thought of that one. But in a way, you could say actually that it found me. So Arya Esha means goddess of truth in Sanskrit, which is the root of North Indian languages. And so the inspiration behind the name is everybody, like in all my travels, I've seen everybody sort of looking for truth, whether it's in their career, in their life, in whatever, And so for me, I found my career truth in jewelry. So Arya Esha.
How did the diamonds find you?
They've not found me yet. Can you send them over to my place?
We'll see what we can do.
They're pretty stunning, and all of the
they're
gems
so
and the
gorgeous.
stones. How do you find them?
So I work with only a limited set of vendors. I make sure that first of all, they provide good quality products, but I don't want anyone's arm being cut off in the process of my gems and diamonds being used. So there's different mechanisms whereby you can assess the ethical nature of the sources and the products or the stones that you're buying. So there's ways to do that, and I follow that, and I make sure. And like I said, we have a very limited group of vendors that we use for stones. Another thing is I try to go directly to the source. So I have tanzanite that I got from Tanzania, because then you see kind of what's going on and you can actually see it. So as much as I can, I try to do that.
Really quick, we got to go, but I need for you to run down the list of celebrities that you've worked with that's worn your pieces.
Gosh, okay. Clara Danes, Jennifer Lawrence, Julia Roberts, Sofia Vergara,
I mean,
Carrie
seriously.
Underwood, Cindy Crawford. I love Pretty Woman.
Oh my God.
I've seen Cindy Crawford.
yeah.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Lupita Nyong'o, oh yeah.
Oh, I love Lupita.
This is insane.
Jordana Brewster.
This is your resume. Like, this is crazy. That is your
Yeah,
these amazing
yeah.
celebrities have worn your pieces.
Congratulations
That's
to
so
you.
exciting.
You're
Yeah,
awesome.
congratulations. All right, well, she's not going anywhere just yet. In a bit, she's going to show off a few of her top jewelry designs. But in the meantime, if you want to learn more, you can see all her designs on the website, aryaesha.com. And from jewelry to clothes, right after the break, Adrienne Houghton is breaking all the old rules that we've ever heard about wearing white. Don't miss the tips when we come back.